Growing up, Whitney and I were kind of like best friends. He was just really loving and supportive. He was really happy all the time.
Whitney. Hey, Whitney.
He just loved exploring and adventuring and seeing new things. Everyone that came into our lives just loved him instantly. He was just so full of life and energy. First, he lost his ability to travel. And then he was unable to work anymore. Stopped being able to take any photos because he couldn't set up the equipment. Then he wasn't able to get out of bed anymore. Gradually, one by one, everything got taken away.
This disease affects so many different systems. You have cardiac involvement potentially, you have cognitive involvement. Most patients complain of brain fog and fatigue, obviously, so there's physical debilitation. Because they're sick so long, many patients are physically just completely disabled. They can't tolerate any physical activities.
Whitney is very severe. He's about as bad as that you can get with this disease.
I mean, he's now, you could say, like borderline comatose, lying in bed. He can't communicate. He's awake, but that's about it. He's just lying there. He can't eat or drink or anything. He can't tolerate very much light or noise.
He basically is in solitary confinement. I mean, he has no interactions. He's still there, but you can't, it's hard to see it.
Neurologically, a lot of these patients have a great sensitivity to stimulation. In some patients it manifests as light sensitivity, in some patients it manifests as sound sensitivity, and they go into sort of an overload mode very quickly. And in Whitney's case, like many other patients, that has gotten to an extreme.
It's like there's a big hole like right there all the time. And it's just a never-ending nightmare of getting worse and worse and worse. And just losing him, I miss him so much.
I used to help a lot more with his care than I do now. Seeing him like that every single day was, I think, too much for me. I can't imagine how strong they have to be to see their son like that and face it and do it every single day. It's constant, unrelenting, because they're taking care of him all day and all night, and it never really ends.
The other problem the disease has is they don't look sick. And that affects doctors and it affects the public as well. Almost half the people I talk to when they ask about my son, and they said, oh yeah, I had that once, which is totally incorrect. They couldn't possibly have.
With such general symptoms, particularly the fatigue part, it's gotten this stigma over the years that it's not a real condition. And that's actually, I think, one of the biggest problems. Many of them are told that they're crazy, they're lazy, they're depressed, when in fact they have real complaints. Most patients will see about 20 physicians before they're diagnosed with ME/CFS.
I think chronic fatigue is probably the last major disease we don't know anything about. It's unlikely my son's going to get better unless I figure something out. And so I feel a lot of weight that I have to figure it out, and it's really hard to figure that out. What we have to do is look at the severe patients. The severe patients will have the largest signal list of what's wrong, but they're not going to come to the clinic. We have to go to them.
That really is the key. We need to get better data, and more research done in this condition and associated conditions than ever before. We need a tremendous uptick in the funding.
That funding has to come from the private sector, which is difficult, or it has to come from NIH, which is probably more difficult. I think that's something that we have as American citizens to have an obligation to all our citizens. And the ones that are suffering, they need some hope.